There was a debauched king. He was so cunning that if he saw any beautiful woman or girl in the city, he would acquire her on the strength of his status. Once, the king organized a grand festival for his son's birthday, to which all the people of the city were invited. The king's most special minister also arrived at the king's place with his wife to attend the festival. When the king saw the minister's wife, he just kept staring at her. The king had never seen such a beautiful woman before. The festival ended. Everyone returned to their homes, but the king's peace and comfort were gone. He was constantly haunted by thoughts of the minister's wife. That night the king could not sleep. He spent the entire night tossing and turning, thinking of various plans to obtain the minister's wife. Finally, the king had an idea. As soon as morning came, he sent for the minister and giving him a letter said, "This needs to be taken to such and such kingdom." The minister said, "Very well, your majesty." After informing his wife at home, the minister, unaware of the king's intentions, set off for his destination. For the king, who was eager to obtain the minister's wife, every moment was passing like centuries. When he was certain that the minister had left on his journey, the king also applied perfume and set off on his royal horse towards the minister's residence. At the time the king reached the minister's house, the minister's wife, whose name was Kapala, had just bathed and was sitting in the courtyard of the house, drying her wet hair. As soon as she saw the king, she immediately stood up and said, "Victory to the king." The king raised his hand, accepting the greeting of the minister's wife, Kapala. She said, "Tell me, your majesty, what brings you here today?" The king replied, "Nothing special. I was just passing by and thought I'd check if everything is all right at my special minister's home." The minister's wife, Kapala, seated the king and with respect and hospitality took great care of him. She prepared delicious dishes and presented them to the king. The king hadn't gone there to eat. After eating and drinking a little, he revealed his intentions, praising her beauty. "I have never in my life seen a woman as beautiful as you." The minister's wife, Kapala, had already sensed the king's bad intentions. She was an intelligent and devoted wife who understood, as soon as the king arrived, that he had deliberately sent her husband away so he could trap her and fulfill his evil desires. Kapala said, "Your majesty, tell me one thing. The lion is the king of the jungle. Does it suit the king of the jungle to eat leftover and roam around sniffing at filth? When the one who is supposed to deliver justice starts committing injustice, where will the subjects go? Your majesty, it does not suit you at all to say such things to your minister's wife." Hearing such wise and eye-opening words from the minister's wife, Kapala, the king felt very ashamed of himself. He was now deeply regretful. Meanwhile, the minister had only gone a short distance when he realized he had forgotten the king's letter at home. He immediately turned his horse and galloped back home. When the minister reached home and saw the king's horse outside, the ground slipped from under his feet. It didn't take him long to understand the whole situation. The minister's wife is cavorting with the king. Thinking this, the minister's blood ran cold. Still, the minister swallowed this bitter pill and quietly went inside, picked up the letter, and left the house without being seen by anyone or saying anything to anyone, and delivered the letter to the place the king had specified. When the minister presented himself before the king after delivering the letter, the king gave him many diamonds and jewels as a reward. The minister gave all those diamonds and jewels to his wife, just as they were. His wife asked, "Where did all this come from?" The minister replied, "The king gave this to me as a gift," and then he dropped her off at her parents' house. Time passed just like that. The minister neither inquired about her, nor went to bring her back. When a long time had passed, the minister's wife's brothers finally, tired and defeated, came to the minister and asked why he wasn't coming to take their sister back. The minister replied, "I have fulfilled all my duties towards her. She is no longer my responsibility." The minister's wife, Kapala's brothers, presented themselves before the king and complained about the minister. The king immediately summoned the minister as well. The minister's brothers-in-law said, "Your majesty, we entrusted him with a beautiful, lush garden laden with fruits and flowers, which also had a well full of sweet water. But your majesty, this man standing before you has ravaged our beautiful, lush garden. He ate all its fruits and even spoiled the sweet water of that well." The king asked the minister, "Well, brother, are they speaking the truth? Do you want to say anything in your defense?" The minister replied, "Yes, your majesty. The garden they handed over to me, I have returned to them in an even better condition." Hearing this, the king asked the minister's wife Kapala's brothers, "Is the minister telling the truth?" They said, "Yes, your majesty, it is true that the garden is in perfect condition. But your majesty, we want to know the reason for returning the garden." The king asked the minister, and the minister said, "Your majesty, the reason for returning the garden is not jealousy or hatred. Actually, one day when I came to the garden, I saw a lion's paw prints. I became scared that the lion might eat me too. Just out of this fear, I stopped going to the garden." The king was listening to everyone very attentively. He stood up from his throne and said, Minister, go to your garden without any fear or worry. There is no doubt that a lion went towards your garden, But that lion could neither leave any mark on your garden, nor could it break a single leaf, nor could it eat any fruit. That lion stayed in your garden for a little while and then left, disappointed. The king said, "I swear by the one above, I have never seen such a strong wall around your garden as the one it has." After that, the minister went straight to his in-law's house and brought back his wife, Kapala. The entire matter was resolved without tarnishing the minister's wife's honor, and no one sitting in the court understood what had happened. For more such stories, please subscribe to the channel and stay with us. A heartfelt thank you to all of you.